Hey, this is Jeff Lemire, creator of 10,000 Ink Stains and many other comics, and this is the True North Country Comics Podcast.
Welcome to the True North Country Comics Podcast, dedicated to promote Canadian comic book and graphic novel creators and supporters. I'm John Swinimer. On this episode, I chat with Jeff Lemire about his new book, 10,000 Ink Stains and Memoir, published by Dark Horse. Please like and subscribe to this website by hitting the subscribe button, so you'll be notified about new podcast interviews and article posts. This podcast is available wherever podcasts are enjoyed. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Based in Toronto, Ontario, Jeff Lemire is an Eisner Award-winning and New York Times best-selling author and comic book creator. He's best known for his critically acclaimed books, Sweet Tooth, Essex County, Underwater Welder, and Maze Book, as well as being the co-creator of Black Hammer, Gideon Falls, Descender, Little Monsters, The Bone Orchard, Phantom Road, and many others. In 2008 and in 2013, Jeff won the Schuster Award for Best Canadian Cartoonist. He's also received the Doug Wright Award for Best Emerging Talent and the American Library Association's prestigious Alex Award, recognizing books for adults with special teen appeal. He's also been nominated for 8 Eisner Awards, 7 Harvey Awards, and 8 Schuster Awards. In 2010, Essex County, now a TV show, was named as one of the 5 essential Canadian novels of the decade. Most recently, Jeff was awarded the Eisner Award in 2022 for Snow Angels in the Best Digital Comic category. Jeff recently wrote a book entitled 10,000 Ink Stains and Memoir, published by Dark Horse. In 10,000 Ink Stains and Memoir, readers will gain insight into Jeff's work from Sweet Tooth, Essex County, Black Hammer, Descender, and more. Jeff takes the reader along book by book, writing essays about the making of each project, showcasing artwork from all of them, offering details about his personal life during the creation of each book, and sharing some never-before-seen process material on each book, plus unpublished stories too. For anyone seeking answers about how Jeff creates his art, this is the ultimate book for modern comic book fans. As a side note, during my chat with Jeff, I presented him with the inspiration for his initial journey into comic books, the DC Blue Ribbon Digest, Justice Society of America. In 10,000 Ink Stains and Memoir, Jeff wrote about his mother buying his first comic book, which has now led him many years later to create stories based on those characters in today's comic books. So, without further ado, here's my chat with Jeff Lemire about his new book, 10,000 Ink Stains and Memoir, published by Dark Horse, recorded at the 2025 Prairie Comics Festival.
Right off the bat, you've used a variety of traditional tools to create your books. Do you have a favorite tool?
That's a great question. I think, I go between different tools. Honestly, the most used tool that I have are these Japanese pens called Deleter. They do manga nibs, so I use those a lot. They're really, really good quality, and they seem to last a bit longer than the ones I get in Canadian art stores. Yeah.
So here's a question then. You're a traditional artist. Why haven't you gone digital?
I've tried a couple times. Friends of mine have gotten really into it, and I don't know. Every time I start doing it, I just burn out. I don't like drawing on a screen. I feel like what I fell in love with as a kid was the tactile nature of paper and pens and ink, and that's the kind of thing I want to hold on to.
After reading your book, is the root of Canadian comic book creators to dream of working for the big two, make independent comic books, achieve that dream, and then become disillusioned and then go back to independent books?
No, I think, I keep going back and forth. I started off doing my own thing, and obviously that's my first love and the thing I will always come back to. But it is fun to be able to go and play in those other playgrounds, the Marvel and DC and everything. So as long as I don't have to make a choice between the two, I'll probably always go back and forth, I do love those projects as well. So I'm just in a lucky, kind of fortunate spot where I get to do both, and not everyone does.
So beyond the printed page, your art and stories have appeared in TV, music videos, and animation. What is the one medium you still want to tackle? Is it motion picture, theater?
That's interesting. I've done TV and I've written for TV a lot in the last maybe 5-10 years. And I kind of really burnt out on that process. But the idea of writing a feature film is appealing because it's a little more contained. Generally, it's one writer, and you can kind of see a vision through a bit more directly than with writers' rooms and the whole TV process. So that's still something I kind of have a calling to do.
So with all your experience and success in making comic books, have you ever thought about running your own publishing company or studio like Ramon Perez?
I don't know about publishing company. I've definitely thought about like an imprint where I publish other cartoonists and writers that I like, or maybe up and coming people that need a step into the industry whose work I admire. So that might be something for the future. Right now, I'm still so busy with my own projects, I don't know if I could pull it off.
Before I get to the next question, I have to give you something. After reading your book, I think this is the right one. You'll have to see if this is right. Is this the book is that it?
That's the one.
Okay, so
I actually have a copy of this.
we'll get it. I was going to give that to you. That's yours.
So you should keep this.
You sure?
Yeah, I bought a really good one again.
Okay.
Because
that was sitting on my bookshelf.
Oh, really?
And after reading that, I said, "Wait a second, I've got that."
This is the one my mom bought me at.
So here's the question then. What inspires you to create? You were saying in your book, 10,000 Ink Stains, that was this blue ribbon digest of the JSA.
That got me into comics. Yeah, I don't know why it was this one, but this is the first one I remember buying. You know, it's hard to know what drew you to something when you're so young. I think it's the drawing. It's always been the drawing. Like, I just love how every artist has their own style. I still do, and I love how each style is so unique to every artist, almost like handwriting. And there's something about that, and seeing stories told in such a personal way and a direct way, right from the artist's hand, that no other medium can really compete with that for me. So that's what I love.
Thanks to Jeff for the chat. You can discover more about Jeff on Substack at jefflemire.substack.com and on Instagram at Jeff Lemire. And thank you for tuning in to the True North Country Comics podcast. I invite you to visit the True North Country Comics website to listen to more conversations about creators on making comic books and graphic novels. I also encourage you to subscribe via the website so you'll be notified about new podcast interviews and article posts. This podcast is available wherever podcasts are enjoyed. Please like, follow, and subscribe. You can follow along True North Country Comics on most social media sites. And you're encouraged to send any and all feedback to John at truenorthcountrycomics.com. Thanks for tuning in, and come back soon for another episode. Bye for now. True North Country Comics Podcast is copyright True North Country Comics, copyright 2025.